And there we go. Hey, how's it going? Oh, happy full moon in Capricorn. The Capricorn full moon is here. I hope y'all doing all right. Okay, let's get started. Well, you know that I am Mystic Storm if you're coming on here, and I help people find clarity, inspiration, and guidance through the forms of divination, astrology, and energy healing. And I know Mystic Storm, you know, what's that all about? It's because we all go through storms, right? We all go through turmoil. We all go through hard times, the darkness, the dark feminine energy, right? But that's where creation stems from. And we have to appreciate the darkness in order to be grateful for the light. So, and we have to get through the storms in order to reach our rainbow, right? So that's kind of like your 10 of Pentacles, if we're talking tarot, or the World card, you know, doing that. But yeah, and I want to reiterate that because of Cancer season. You know, we are following the moon, yes, but the anchor for our whole galaxy is the sun. So we have to honor the season that we're in. And we are in Cancer season. So that's all about emotions. Oh my goodness. Y'all remember that? Was it Destiny's Child? Just emotions taking me over. Caught up in sorrow, lost in a song. But if you don't come back, come home to me, darling. I'll stop there before it turned me off. But yeah, that's how I've been feeling. Like just emotion waves of emotions. And I named this transforming fear into love just by looking at the chart. And we have the sun and Mercury are conjunct in the 9th house in the sign of Cancer, right? Because we're in Cancer season, right? And that's opposing the moon in Capricorn. That's also conjunct to Pluto retrograde in the 3rd house. So looking at this, and so, you know, for some people that don't really know astrology, y'all probably like, okay, get to the point. Okay, 9th house energy, back to the sun and Mercury. The 9th house is all about the wisdom, the philosophy. It could be travel if you want to be traveling, because this is Sagittarius energy. But it's also like law and religion and learning. And I'm saying morals. I'm getting big morals. So with this is like reestablishing, Capricorn full moon is reestablishing how we process emotions. And transforming those emotions, because it may be really dark and deep, intense emotions that you may be feeling at this time, because you're needing to transform those with the Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, and transform those in order to be more spontaneous and be more open and be authentic. Because the 3rd house, where the moon and Pluto retrograde is all about the mind. It's thinking. So there may have been a lot of overthinking. There may have been like loss in communication. Could have been like arguments going on. Like you're trying to process a lot at this time. I know I have been like very emotional during this Cancer season, but I had to sit with myself and really dive deep into why am I feeling this way? What's the root cause of this? How can I get out of this energy? Because, it's one thing to, feel, we have to feel things, but we don't want to stay in that. We don't want to stay stagnant. We want our water, our emotions to flow. Okay? So it's pretty much just keep riding the wave, but keep going, right? So, and I bring that because the sun and Mercury opposing the moon and Pluto retrograde, they're all pointing towards Uranus in Taurus, which has been there for a while, in the 7th house. The 7th house is all about relationships. So it can be relationship with self. It can be relationships of family relationships, platonic relationships, romantic relationships, because marriage is on here, business contracts, any type of relationship. It could be a relationship towards food, a relationship towards money, especially because Uranus is in Taurus. Sense of self-worth, sense of self-value, how you see and view yourself. Because if we go all the way back to Aries season, that was the renewal, the rebirth. That was the beginning of this transformation. So we're stepping into this newness. We probably broke away from old cycles and we're healing from that. This is like what Cancer season is all about. And this is why it's so important to be in the know of the wheel of the year, the cycles of life. Because some people, they may think, oh, this just happened day to day. But if you dive into astrology, you'd be like, okay, I have a deeper understanding. And with deeper understanding comes deeper wisdom for you to continue to evolve. Because that's all what this full moon is. It's bringing order and structure to our emotions and being more flexible and loving on ourselves, because if we love ourselves, then we will be more loving and compassionate to others. Okay, so I will say the moon and Pluto here is also, they're sextile with Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So with Neptune retrograde in Pisces in the 5th house, this is all about playfulness. This is romance. This is love, creativity. This is saying that you may be having a heightened sense of wanting to get things done, a boost of energy, which that's what full moons give you, more energy. It's either you're really energetic or like you're really drained and tired. And I feel like with this, you may be more into going out and doing some things, or being more adventurous, being more ready to try things new. So keep that in mind, okay? And we do have, what else is, Neptune is also, but they're trine with the moon and Mercury in Cancer, right? So that's, again, it's saying like, though we may have these fears, we're getting opposing energy trying to face these emotions head on, which is daunting, which is hard, which is, we might be afraid or scary. And that's pretty much, yes, that's normal, but that's also like, yeah, because Capricorn in the tarot, Capricorn is the devil. It's the devil card. And that's where our fears lie. And if we knew how powerful we were, we can break free from that. So this is breaking free from those limiting beliefs that we put on ourselves from childhood, that 5th house energy. So it might be some things going on within the subconscious, past lives that may have been, may be coming up to shore in the surface that you need to tend to. And that's okay. That's okay. It's a lifelong process. We almost out of Cancer season. So it's like, just continue to do the best you can, okay? And we do have Venus here in Gemini is trine Saturn retrograde in Aquarius. So I find that actually very soothing for me, because Gemini energy is like the lovers in tarot, and that's in the eighth house. The eighth house is all about transformation, right? It's all about sex, death, rebirth, and gaining. It could be like an inheritance, but like just gaining more. So it could be you've endured a lot, and now your blessings are now starting to form. It could also be blessings within the home, within your family. Definitely for like the feminine energy, you don't have to necessarily be a woman, but definitely tapping into your emotions, especially for men. If you're trying to process these emotions, you might have like a heightened sense of aggression, especially with Jupiter, which is expansion in the sign of Aries. That's knuck if you buck energy. So if you don't know how to process your emotions, working to love on yourself, and you may want to indulge in pleasure in order to get into that. I mean, hey, we all grown here. At least I think, I hope. So indulging more into pleasure, into tantric arts, and all those things to really put you in a sense of rootedness, not escapivity, which is different, but to make you feel more connected with your partners. This was good to deepen relationships, but it's also good to just do things that make you feel good, because pleasure doesn't always have to be sex. So pleasure could be taking a spiritual bath. Pleasure could be going out for a walk. Pleasure could be going to see your favorite movie, taking yourself out on a date. It doesn't have to be always with someone else. And that's what we have to realize more and more. But yeah, let me see. We do have Saturn retrograde squared with Uranus. So though we want the freedom, though we want to, break free from whatever these emotions that are riling up, we need to face them. We need to face them. Saturn is like, no, you're going to learn today. Because Capricorn's planetary ruler is Saturn, and Aquarius's ancient ruler is Saturn, and it's co-ruled by Uranus. Okay, so it's a lot of heavy energies. Could be restrictions. It could be pushing boundaries, pushing limits, pushing comfortability, and the testing of the waters it could be testing you in order for you to break through the threshold into something better, or it could be pushing you up against that threshold in order for you to stick up for yourself, for you to make sure that you are expressing yourself the way that you want to be treated, or all that stuff. So just keep that in mind. It's different strokes for different folks. Because you can be, emotions have a wide spectrum. So it could be any type of emotion. Just pick your poison. So I think we do have Mars in Taurus, so in the 7th house. So if you want to tap into Mars energy, that would be really good to get your finances and stuff going. Maybe light a fire underneath you in order for you to get things done. It's not making any aspects with any other planets, so that could be good. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, I think that's it for what I want to say for the astrology portion. I do want to dive in to Oh, they said make sure you say about ancestors. Also, this moon is very ancestral. Just keep that in mind, because Cancer's like the mother archetype, and Capricorn is like the father archetype. And with the Cancer energy being in the ninth house, it's like what I'm getting is like the wisdom, philosophy, and the higher education. But then also thinking about where Cancer is, the energy of Cancer is home, roots, family. So making sure that, yes, we're tending to ourselves in this process, we're healing, we're nurturing ourselves, but also we're tending to our family, we're getting back in touch with our roots, we're getting grounded, and that we also are honoring and paying homage to our ancestors, because they will help us through getting through this mental conflict, this mental turmoil, this storm that you may be in the middle of, that you will, if you break through it, you'll see that it was all for the benefit. Okay? So I hope that makes sense for what I said right now. I don't know everybody's the knowledge on astrology. So if y'all ever have questions, let me know, and I could, try to break it down as much as I can on here. But I try to be in detail of what I'm thinking about, or my thought process before I explain to you why I'm getting this message, or why I'm getting this, this type of energy. So if you don't really understand, just let me know, comment, shoot me a message. It's fine. Okay? So we're going to get into the collective reading. Spirit told me to get out the Hoodoo Tarot, and that's probably what the ancestors were coming through. So let's see. Spirit, what messages, what guidance do you have for the collective at this time? That was a lot. Okay. Grab hold, don't let go. One more. Just one more. Thank you. Okay. I would say when the first time I shuffled, this was the base, and now it's the base again. 5 of Knives. Okay? There's power in the tongue. Don't forget that. So the full moon, the moon in Capricorn is in the 3rd house. That's 3rd house is all about communication, thinking, the mind, right? So be careful what you say. Be careful of how you think at this time, and just know, or be careful who you talk to, because it might come to bite you in the ass later. Okay? Just saying. All right. So we got Mother Sticks in reverse. The Railroad Bill, which is the Chariot in traditional tarot. Miss Robinson. Miss Robinson is the Devil card. And this is the Capricorn. This is Capricorn energy showing up right here. And then we have 3 of Baskets in reverse. Okay? So let's talk about this. The sticks and the baskets. The sticks is wands, right? And then the baskets is cups in the traditional tarot. These both are in reverse. So what this is saying with our fear, so we're turning fear, transforming fear into love, because sticks is all about passion, creativity, action, right? I feel like we've taken the back seat a lot because of burnout, and or because of also, yes, fear, doubts. However, with the emotions, if our emotions aren't in check, then we won't be able to actually get things done. And what's the simple step or solution to go through that? You have to be willing to sit with yourself and go through the changes. It's like grab hold of it and go through the darkness. And this is also giving me like playfulness, because the devil card can get a bad rep, right? But it also means playfulness, trickery, sneaky type energy. So you may have to trick or ignite yourself, like trick yourself into getting things done. Find little tactics. Because have you ever been like paralyzed with your thoughts? Like you're so deep in thought that you know you have to do stuff, but you're just sitting there and you just can't move. This is where the wisdom and the knowledge comes in. Because I think the last time we talked, it was like apply wisdom or something like that was the message. So, and with this knife house energy, this would be really good. So, applying that wisdom, grabbing hold of the issues, instead of letting them just control you, you take hold and control of your life, right? So you might have to, get up and play, get up and do other things. You may have to think about what's the first step I have to do to get out of this spiral, or how can I get through this emotion? Or you may have to put on some type of mask in order to get through the rest of the day. I know y'all feel me on that. But when you go home, that's when you dive deeper into it. You can mask all day, but it will leave you imbalanced. And how to get out of balance, you need to face your fears head on. Face your fears head on. Okay? And be mindful of what you say during this time and how you can choose to communicate with others. Before you have some heart-to-heart conversations with people, make sure you process your emotions and figure out what's the root cause. Because again, y'all know how full moons are. So people, we ebbed up, right? Especially with Jupiter in the sign of Aries. Again, it's knuck if you buck season. Anybody can react any kind of way. So with Cancer season, especially. So with that being said, process your emotions. Sit with yourself, go through them, and you may realize that the root cause isn't this one situation over here. It's something deep rooted in past lives, in childhood, and all that stuff that you need to sort through. Come up with a better solution on how to speak to people, and then say that. If you need a minute, that's your mask. Okay, all right, yeah. Let's reconvene. All right? And then once you're ready, once you have control over your emotions, you're able to turn your confidence back up. Look at the confidence of the mother of sticks when she's upright. Ain't no worries, ain't no care in the world. What you say over there? Oh, who are you? Who are you? And that's the level we have to be on. I feel like in this day and age with social media, and we constantly comparing ourselves to each other, And, you know, this rat race that we run in, always, what are we doing this for? I think we have to, I'm thinking of, what is that song called by Janae Aiko? Is it, Arise? I don't know. I'm on my way to heaven. And, but the lyrics are, you know, what are you doing this for? What are you running for? What are you trying to prove? What do you have to lose? What is the path you choose? You know? So the choice is yours. The choice is ours. Because again, I'll be feeling the heat too. How are you going to move past these emotions or process these emotions in order to work in your favor? This is the growth we've been wanting. This is the elevation we've been wanting. But, you know, we don't really want to go through it. We want it, but we really don't want it, right? So we have to, again, I know these are turbulent times, but trust me, it's going to be necessary. I feel like come harvest, come fall, autumn, however you want to say it, I think it will be really, really nice. But for right now, and Leo season is around the corner, which will probably give us a lighter feel, but I just feel like we just can't get trapped in this energy. All right, I want to do some clarification with the Crow Tarot. That was quick, thank you. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Oh, Lord. Ace of Pentacles. Eight of Wands. King of Cups. Okay. So with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse here, I feel like this is what we're afraid of happening. It's like the fear of missing out, the fear of what if, because there's so many different probabilities and timelines and dimensions, and you want to make sure that you're on the right trajectory. So instead of focusing on all of them at once, focus. I never noticed that. So you see how all of the crows here are on the outer side of the wheel, right? Are pointing outwards. Instead of trying to look at all of the other possibilities, look at the ones on the inside. They're pointing to the root, right? This is us getting grounded and secure. Anytime we think about, oh, this could happen, that could happen, this over here, this over, what's the main thing? What are you trying to do? What path do you choose? In the core beliefs, in your core feelings, how do you want this to pan out? That's what you hold on to, not the fleeting emotions, because emotions are fleeting. Thoughts are fleeting. They're just clouds passing by. And yes, that's easier said than done, because again, your girl be in a spiral too. But that's just how the mind works. And for me, I'm heavy Mercury. I have a lot of Mercury energy. I was born on Mercury Day, on a Mercury hour. Okay, I got double air in my big three. There's a lot going on, so I can sympathize with people that be on the same tip. All right, so we got Ace of Pentacles. This is good. This is good energy. We're coming out of that storm, and we're getting into these new beginnings. That is going to be, yes, this could be money, but this could also be possessions, material things, but also self-worth and self-value. This could be within the home and relationships, anything that is tangible within on this earth. There's some newness here coming out from this this storm that we're coming in. coming out of. And it's going to be fast moving energy. Fast moving energy with the Eight of Wands. And you'll notice that these turbulent times have given you a master level of who you are, of how your emotions operate, and how you can use your emotions to your benefit in order for you to stay on target. And that way you can only use your emotional body, your emotional energy, to things that better serve what you're trying to do here, right? The mission that you have, okay? So everything could be, again, a little wonky, Cancer season, that's all right, but it's not the time to sit and wallow, sit by yourself. Yes, of course we have to have solitude, right? We have to process, right? I'm not saying that. There's balance. But don't psych yourself out and get out there and let your light shine. Be who it is that you are set out here to be, right? Because we have time, but it can be done with the blink of an eye, and you never know, when your time here is done. So you don't want to let anybody deter you, and you especially don't want to let your own self hold you back. Okay? So I think once we really get in touch with the fire and water, fire and ice type of the both spectrums of emotions, and work with those, and know that those are the two reins of the Chariot. I wish I could pull like the traditional tarot Chariot card, but those are the two polar opposites of the emotions. So if you take the fire, that's the more active, that's the more masculine. We have the feminine, the dark, right? Those could be the deeper, sadder emotions, that's fine. But if you take hold of those and you are able to see the root of it, or root cause, then nothing will faze you. You can look fear in the face. You can look conflict in the face, obstacles in the face. You recognize it, you see it, you're smarter now, and you know how to handle it. Okay? So we all human, we all go through it. It's gonna be all right. All right? Okay. Now, I have a lot of decks here, per usual, but I kind of want to end the reading for the collective here, and because I think y'all get the gist of what I've been saying, and we can transition into, I can stay on a little bit longer, and if anyone here wants to do readings, or maybe like a one card, or just pull some oracle, whatever deck I feel like needs to go with you, that's fine. Y'all can drop a question in the question bar if y'all interested. If not, let me know, and then I could just close out with a couple of oracles. What's your question, Carl? Got you. And then I am taking donations. I got my stuff pinned on today. Got my Cashapp, got my PayPal, and then my plan is to be at the PSV store this Saturday for the art crawl. So that's why I normally do that. So I'm getting out there and doing that. So you got your question, Carl? I don't see it yet. Okay. A general update. Okay. I remember what we talked about the last time. You were in balance. Okay. I'm trying to see what I want to do for you. What's in that chakra? You still on that energy. You got the star card. Yep. You still on that energy. Keep elevating. Also, you may want to, this is giving me the waters, to test the waters too. You may also, there might be something that you're missing, or it might be different avenues that you could take, but they'll all lead to the same thing, the abundance that you crave. However, it depends on how big do you want it. So you may be missing some good financial opportunities, or you're probably not interested. Maybe something has come up and you weren't really that interested. But maybe give it another go, okay? And I'm going to pull, the chakra you should work with is the sacral chakra. This is really good. This is also, I think in this deck too, the sacral chakra is also linked with money, too, possession. So being open to that, open to attracting more. It doesn't have to be forceful. It doesn't have to be strenuous or tiresome, but it's just attracting. You probably need to work more with your feminine energy in order to attract more easily than just constantly overexerting yourself. Okay? Let me know how that goes for you. If that resonated or not. You still there? If not, if anybody else has a question, let me know. And then if not, I'll just close out with the wild offering. That's always a good benediction. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, good. I'm glad you heard it. So, we're going to close out here with the wild offering. Spirit, what is the final message to close this reading? The Capricorn full moon. Service. It says, you stop using the universe to try to get what you want and start asking love to use you. You offer all and want to be of service. Ironically, many desires become fulfilled without grasping or manipulation. Interesting. So spirit is spirit kind of like, hold on, get yourself together. And you don't have to put on a front all the time. You don't have to manipulate. We talked about trickery, right? So it's funny how this card came out. So it's just like, ironically, once you stop, doing these things and let love use you, once you have come emotionally balanced, right? You put on these fronts, you put on all these things. But once you get to the core of you and know what it is that you want to do, you'll become more fulfilled. And you'll notice that life gets easier and it flows, and you don't have to do as much as you did before. Okay. So I hope that this helped y'all. I hope that y'all gained some type of clarity, some type of guidance today. And I hope y'all have a wonderful full moon. And I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.